Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying. Sigmund Freud and Erik Erikson agreed that A. Each developmental stage needed to be resolved before an individual could move on to the next stage. B. Developmental stages are primary psychosexual. C. Developmental stages are primary psychosexual. D. A person can proceed to a higher stage even if a lower stage is unsolved. The answer is A. Sigmund Freud and Erik Erikson agreed that each developmental stage needs to be resolved before an individual could move on to the next stage. If an individual cannot resolve the stage they are on developmentally, they cannot move on to the next stage until they are able to resolve the stage. It is like a baby learning how to walk. They must first learn how to roll onto their bellies and then lift their head up, and then being able to move their arms and legs, and then start crawling, and then lifting themselves up onto objects or with help from their parents, and then they can learn how to walk. If the baby cannot master any of those stages prior to walking, then they cannot move on to the next stage. But if they are able to master those developmental stages, they are able to move on to the next stage, which is walking, and then running, so on and so forth. Oppositional defiant disorder stands out from conduct disorder when the following is present: A. Vandalism. B. Emotional dysregulation. C. Disregarded for authority. D. Cruelty to small animals. The answer is B. Emotional dysregulation. Oppositional defiant disorder stands out from conduct disorder when emotional dysregulation is present. With positional defiant disorder, emotional dysregulation can be frequent and ongoing patterns of anger, arguing, irritability, and defiance towards authority and parents. Which of the following resources would probably provide the least reliable information about sources and trends in testing and assessment? A. Internet blogs. B. Journal articles. T. Test manuals. The answer is A. Internet blogs. They are the least reliable information about sources and trends in testing and assessment because blogs incorporate opinions and entertainment rather than research and facts, whereas journal articles, test manuals, and test critiques are able to provide reliable information about sources and trends in testing and assessment because people have researched, tested, and retested experiments and were able to draw conclusive results and turn them into reliable articles, manuals, and critiques for individuals to refer to. What is the fifth level of multicultural awareness continuum? The fifth level is an awareness of other cultures. This often begins with the client's language. A multicultural counselor does not necessarily need to learn a foreign language in its entirety, but just a few certain words or phrases have significant meaning. For example, I know a little bit of Korean, and I know how to say hello, thank you, and goodbye. Those simple words can mean a lot to my Korean clients who don't necessarily speak English, but it can show them signs that I am willing to help them and I am willing to learn a little bit more about their cultures. And this applies to all cultures. If you know a little bit, a little goes a long way. A counselor is working with a client who frequently requests to extend their therapy sessions beyond the scheduled time. The client often brings up important topics towards the end of the session. How should the counselor manage their requests for extending sessions? A. Accommodate the client's requests to extend sessions. B, politely decline and remind the client to stay within the scheduled session time. C, discuss with the client the importance of time management. D, charge an additional fee for extended sessions to deter the behavior. The answer is C. Discuss with the client the importance of time management. It is important for the client to know that the sessions usually run for an X amount of time, whether it's 45, 50, 55 minutes, up to an hour, and within that time frame they are able to bring up important topics, usually at the start of the session, and they can work on that topic throughout the session until the session is ended. In addition, you can also relate the importance of time management in other scenarios so that the clients have a better understanding of how time management can help benefit them and the counselor. And that is all 5 questions for this episode. Thank you for listening. Keep calm and study on.